The Warriors to target Pascal Siakam? Why? Wow! Kawhi! 15 straight W's to the very end.
Oh my goodness, this doesn't feel real.
What is going on, Rosano Nation, Raptors Nation? Welcome back to another Raps Report. I'm your host, Luca Rosano, and as always on this podcast, I talk about the Toronto Raptors and various NBA topics. Hope you're all doing well. This is a rare Saturday morning upload. And the reason for this upload is I wanted to talk about some trade rumors. And of course, every time we have an NBA draft lottery, which happened a couple nights ago, and every time the NBA draft is coming up, we got a ton of NBA trade rumors and a ton of trade speculation to talk about. And there was one suggestion made by someone who I'm about to reveal that caught my attention because it did involve the Toronto Raptors and their all-star Pascal Siakam. So, let's summarize here very quickly. The Minnesota Timberwolves won the #1 overall pick in the upcoming 2020 NBA draft, and the Golden State Warriors got the #2 overall pick in the draft. And many people feel that the Warriors are going to try to trade this pick alongside maybe a guy like Andrew Wiggins, who does have a big contract, and try to get a valuable asset in return to pair with the Splash Brothers, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, who will be healthy come next season. Yes, the Warriors did miss the playoffs, but something tells me they're able to dominate for the next couple of years to come. They're going to be just fine. So, one guy in particular who believes that the Warriors are going to try to trade and shop around that pick is NBC Sports' Tom Haberstroh. He believes that the Warriors could put together a package that would involve their #2 overall pick. Well, in this suggestion, he did say the #1 overall pick, but now we know it's going to be the #2 overall pick. And Andrew Wiggins, and try to get a big catch in return. And in particular, he talks about how maybe the Warriors would go after Pascal Siakam of the Toronto Raptors. Now, this is what he said verbatim. I would look at first for Bob Myers, the GM of the Golden State Warriors, to give a call to the Toronto Raptors for potentially Pascal Siakam, because I think the Golden State Warriors need to upgrade defensively and get a guy who can replace Andre Iguodala, a guy who is very versatile, can play multiple positions defensively, and there's just not a lot of guys out there who can do the things that Andre Iguodala did for the championship Warriors, Haberstroh said. So would you guys do that? The #2 overall pick? And Andrew Wiggins, who has been pretty bad, to say the least. He's not been the Andrew Wiggins that we thought he was going to be at this point in his career, but he's still relatively young. Would you do that for Pascal Siakam? The #2 overall pick in the 2020 NBA draft, and Andrew Wiggins for Pascal Siakam. Now, before you answer that question, and before you guys are going crazy in the comment section down below, there's an interesting variable in all of this. Now, remember, a while back on the Luca Rosano show, I had an NBA draft insider by the name of Rashad Phillips on the show, and he basically said that the Raptors have a ton of interest for LaMelo Ball. By the way, LaMelo Ball could be still available at #2, and I believe he will be available at #2 because I don't have the Timberwolves selecting LaMelo Ball at #1. I feel like he has too much of a similar skill set to D'Angelo Russell. They got their point guard. They got their keys to the car. So if LaMelo Ball is available at #2, would that create interest for the Toronto Raptors as they would look at a package for Wiggins and LaMelo Ball as being compelling? Because as Rashad Phillips said on my show, he felt that the Raptors would go all in for LaMelo Ball and actually suggested a 3-team trade, which would have been Lowry going to the Sixers, Ben Simmons going to the Warriors, and the Raptors getting the Warriors' #1 overall pick, which in this case would be the #2 overall pick. I don't think that trade's going to happen, but what I'm getting at here is if there is some truth behind what Rashad Phillips said, and if the Raptors are intrigued and interested by LaMelo Ball as being their point guard of the future because you do have Kyle Lowry coming off the books, then maybe this isn't as far-fetched as you think. Now, another interesting variable is how will Pascal Siakam, the quote-unquote number one option on this team, look for the remainder of the postseason. Now, obviously, Pascal Siakam hasn't had himself a good run so far in the bubble. It was good to see him get back on track in Game 3 against the Nets, and hopefully he can build off that and continue to give us that type of production. But let's just say the Raptors go on to the next round, and they play a very tough Celtics team. And let's just say in the series, Pascal Siakam doesn't show up. Or let's just say the Raptors do make another finals run, and Pascal Siakam looks pretty mediocre and doesn't look to be the team's best player. Because I got to tell you guys, the guy who has looked like the team's best player has been Fred VanVleet, who is going to command the max this offseason. You better believe it. If the Raptors look at Pascal Siakam in his first postseason as the main guy, and they see that he didn't fare too well or didn't fare as they would hope, would that create a situation where Masai Ujiri would listen to potential offers for Pascal Siakam? Because we know Masai Ujiri isn't afraid of striking a big deal. We know if teams call Masai, he's at least listening. And Masai, he's no stranger to controversial deals. Yeah, I'm talking about the Kawhi Leonard and DeRozan deal, because in the moment, it was controversial and people did not like it at all. But obviously, that worked out brilliantly. So, all I'm getting at here is that Masai Ujiri could be faced with a very interesting decision if Pascal Siakam continues to look pretty mediocre in these playoffs, and a team like the Warriors come knocking on his door offering a package of Andrew Wiggins, who would be returning home in this trade scenario, and the number 2 overall pick where you could then select LaMelo Ball. And just like that, you would have LaMelo Ball as your point guard of the future, and you could still retain the services of Fred VanVleet, and that would be the new backcourt for the Raptors, with Kyle Lowry obviously on his way out. He's getting up there in age. Even if the Raptors bring him back on a short-term deal, his best days, you would think, are behind him, even though he's been proving us wrong in some of these games in the bubble. But Kyle Lowry is getting up there in age. We already know that. So it's very interesting to speculate. In no way am I endorsing this deal. All I wanted to do was present this speculation presented by Tom Haberstroh. And now I want to get everybody's reaction to this. Let me know in the comment section down below. Would you consider this? Would you downright shut it down? And do you think the Raptors could, in fact, shop around Pascal Siakam if he doesn't have a good overall postseason? Smash that like button. Let's get to 100 plus likes. Share this video if you wish. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit those post notifications for more. Feel free to follow me on social media, guys. At Luca Rosano on Instagram, at Luca Rosano3 on Twitter, and Luca.Rosano on TikTok. And yeah, be sure to rate this podcast anywhere you find your podcast. That's Anchor, Spotify, and Apple iTunes. Also, please consider becoming a channel member today. For as little as $4.99 a month, you can support the channel. I currently got 2 memberships available, Silver and Gold. Shout out to all of my members who have recently joined. If you do join as a channel member, it is greatly appreciated. That's it for me, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I will be going live for the Raptors-Nets game tomorrow night as the Raptors look to get their first ever sweep in franchise history. So we might, in fact, get the brooms out. We'll see what happens. Until next time, be great and stay blessed. Peace out.